All right, let's talk about one of the biggest, most exciting things happening in tech right now, building your own AI agents. And here's the best part. You don't have to write a single line of code. We're going to show you how to start automating your work with tools that are way more accessible than you probably think. This quote from Jack Clark, one of the co-founders of Anthropic, really just hits you. This isn't some science fiction idea for the distant future. It is happening right now. A massive shift is underway. And honestly, it's creating a huge advantage for anyone who decides to jump in and start learning. So let's figure out what that means for you. So, what is this big change all about? Well, we are officially entering what people are calling the agentic age. And what that really means is we're moving from AI that we just talk to, like a chatbot, to an AI that can actually do things for us. It's a partner, not just a glorified search engine. And this right here, this is the core difference. We've all gotten pretty used to generative AI. We ask it to write this for me, an email, a blog post, whatever. Agentic AI is a whole different ballgame. The prompt becomes, handle this for me. It's not just making something new. It's carrying out a whole series of steps to get a job done. It's a system for action. Okay, so what is an AI agent really? The absolute easiest way to think about it is like your first digital employee. Seriously. And just like any good employee, it's got three key parts that let it do its job. First up, you've got the brain. This is the large language model, or LLM. You know the big names, GPT-4, Claude, Gemini. This is the part that does all the thinking. It takes your goal, figures out the logical steps to get there, and makes decisions along the way. Next, we have memory. And this is so important. Memory gives the agent context. It lets it remember what it's already done, what it's learned, and even who you are, so you don't have to start from scratch and explain everything every single time. It can have short-term memory for the task at hand and long-term memory, almost like a permanent knowledge base it can tap into. And finally, we've got the tools. Look, if the LLM is the brain, then the tools, they're the hands. These are all the connections and integrations that let the agent actually do things in the real world. Search Google, fire off an email, update your sales records, or create a new document. This is how the work gets done. So now that we get what an agent is, how in the world do you start? Well, here's the secret. It's not really about picking the fanciest tech. It's about picking the perfect process to automate first. And the framework for that is actually pretty simple. First, you have to document your workflows. And I mean literally write down every single step of a task you do often. Then, once it's all laid out, you can optimize it. You'll probably find a bunch of steps you can just get rid of. And only then, with that clean process, do you figure out what's left to automate. And to help you choose that very first task, you can use a simple scorecard like this. You're looking for that sweet spot, right? A task that you do all the time, daily or weekly, one that takes up a lot of your time, one that uses predictable, structured data, and finally, one where you know exactly what success looks like. That's your perfect candidate. And this is absolutely critical. You have to start with what we call low-precision tasks. These are the kinds of things where getting it 90% right is a massive win. Think about drafting a summary or doing some initial research. The stakes are low. What you don't want to start with are high-precision tasks, like accounting, where one tiny mistake can cause huge problems. The goal here is to get some quick wins and build your confidence. Okay, so you've got your task, you know what you want to automate. Now it's time to actually pick a tool. And in the no-code world, it basically comes down to two different ways of thinking about it. Understanding this difference is going to help you pick the right tool for you. On one hand, you've got the easy autopilot approach. Think of tools like Zapier. You basically just tell it what you want to accomplish, and it figures out how to do it. It is the fastest way to get something up and running. On the other hand, you've got the advanced cockpit approach, like in tools like N8N. Here, you are the pilot. You control every single switch and dial, which is perfect when you have really complex workflows that need a ton of customization. And all of this, it brings up the big question, right? What does this mean for our jobs? The best way to think about this isn't replacement, it's partnership. It's a whole new division of labor between people and AI. Let's just be really clear about something. Agents aren't coming to replace your entire job. They're here to replace the tedious, repetitive, mind-numbing workflows inside your job. And what that does is free you up for the more valuable, creative, strategic work that only a human can do. I love this quote because it just nails it. This is the new model. Our job is to provide the strategy, the critical thinking, the final sign-off, the judgment. The agent's job is to handle the execution, all those tedious step-by-step processes. It's an incredibly powerful team. So really, the most valuable skill to have going forward isn't going to be coding. It's what we can call agent literacy. It's the skill of being able to look at a process and know what's worth automating, then being able to design a good system for it, and finally, measure the results. That, right there, is the new superpower. Look, at the end of the day, this isn't about replacing yourself. It's about amplifying yourself. It's about taking back all those hours you lose to boring work so you can focus on what really matters. So I'll leave you with a question to think about. Which of your 4-hour tasks could you turn into a 30-minute one?